Hey guys. Hey guys, so this is Tokyo Rob here. I wanted to do a video talking about Emulation Station. And I know I haven't really done many videos since my last one, but I figured that we'd kind of just go over what it is I have and how does it look like in its file setup. Basically, when you go and you download Emulation Station, you're going to get a zip file. You're going to unzip that zip file, and it's going to give you this folder right here. It's basically just going to say, let's go to desktop, say as there. That's your folder. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, so it's going to say as there. In this file, you're going to have everything that is needed for your emulation collection, basically. And you can have your ROMs. This is where it's all going to go. We're going to open up my current folder. It's in the local disk. We go to emulation, we go to SD. So this is what you're gonna get. It's gonna have everything. What I did differently in mine was I had a folder called ROMs here where I put all the ROM stuff. When you initially get it though, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna have everything, and that's too much. So I went and deleted pretty much everything that I did not want and only kept the ones that I might be using. So basically this is everything right here. It all looks pretty good. You can see I have my PS2 collection. I have my PSP collection. It's not that many. Again, it's not that many. I even have some Switch games. So, normally you place your emulators. So we go back to the beginning, your ESDA folder. Normally you'd place all your emulators in this folder right here called emulators. For the love of me, I could not get my emulators to be read by the program with it in here. So what I did was I just created its self-contained folder called emulation. I threw the install folder in there, Emulation Station, and inside of that, next to it, I made a folder called emulators. And I literally just threw all my emulators in there. And that seemed to do the trick for me. Might be different for you, maybe it worked, but this is what I did and it worked for me. I just threw in all of them. As you can see, I have Yuzu, I have RYUJINX, I have MelanDS, I have Citra. I couldn't get Emulation Station to read Citra. It's another line of code you gotta throw in, so I threw MelanDS. Good enough for me. It's not like I have a lot of 3DS 2DS games I'm going to be playing anyways. Or maybe I did get Citra to work. I can't really remember. We'll test it out in a little bit. And then I just created another folder called BIOS. And I basically have all my BIOSes just thrown in here. Whenever something requires a BIOS, firmware key or prod key or whatever title to update, just throw it in here and I just use it. It's not fancy or anything like that, but it is what I did to get this all to work. If you wanted to add, the biggest question I get is how to add Yuzu to Emulation Station. And honestly, from what I found, I had a Reddit post that someone did a while back ago when they put the exact line of code and they made it all work, and I tried it and it worked for me and I was like, perfect, that's the way to do it. But essentially all you got to do is just go into let's go back to the beginning. You go my emulation folder, which is the way I made it, and I suggest you guys do it this way too. And the reason why I did it this way was because if I ever want to transfer it to another Windows device, I could just copy this, throw it onto that other Windows device, and it'll work. So you go into your Emulation Station main folder, then you go into your Emulation Station subfolder, then you look for custom_systems, and this is where you're going to put any emulator that Emulation Station does not natively have in their initial install. And it'll just be this. This is an XML file, which is just a fancy way of saying Notepad. You can open it in Notepad, you can edit it, you can save it as an XML file. It's really easy. Basically, all you would add is this line of code, and Emulation Station can now read the Yuzu emulator. It's that simple. You just need these two files. In the description below, if you guys want to install Yuzu, I'll have these codes on there, and all you have to do is just copy paste and add them. Now, I don't use Yuzu anymore. I use RYUJINX because that is the one that's currently being developed, and I like to play my games with mods. like 60 FPS mod for the Switch. Only certain games supported, or clothing mods and stuff like that. I couldn't get it to work on Yuzu, but I got it to work on RYUJINX, so I just ended up sticking with RYUJINX. I think RYUJINX is natively supported by Emulation Station, because I don't remember doing any edits for it, and it's not on here. I did see on this one right here, there is a systems path for RYUJINX right here, so you might need to add this to get it to work, but either way, it's going to be in the description, so you guys can do it. So that's pretty much it. It's really simple. Just download, install, open up the exe folder. You'll have an initial setup, and just keep in mind that every separate emulator you need to set up on your own within the app before you can use it with Emulation Station. I mean, you can, but then it's going to ask you to set it up within Emulation Station. So it's easier to just do it outside of it. That way, when you open it with Emulation Station, it's good to go. It's really simple. And then there's tons of videos showing like best settings for emulators and stuff like that. And I would suggest to refer to those videos when you want to have those like best settings and all that stuff. And it's just kind of what I did. But it's pretty easy to set up. And then once you have it set up, you'll learn that you can scrap, you can change the themes, and that's pretty much what I did. So we're opening up here. They do have an update available. This update increases the scrapping timing for it, and a few other small changes, but I'll update it later when there's a bigger change. I've scrapped everything already, so I don't need to do it. So a little guide here. You can go into UI, you can change your themes. You can go download themes. So you can go here. And okay, I gotta run the latest one to see the new ones, but basically these are the new themes that came with it. You can do your scrapper, and this is to get the artworks in the videos that I'm about to show you. So for example, if I hover over a specific game, it'll have a video. I haven't really like scrapped this. I think that's why I don't have any. But for example, we'll go into 3DS, or I mean DS. There it is. We'll go into Game Boy. You can see I have a bunch of artwork for it. You can see I have a ton of games. And you can see I have the Switch emulator here working as well. But it all works good. I've tested it myself. Let me lower the volume because I feel like I'm screaming. And then, I got the Fire Emblem Engage working as well. I got the mod, so it gets rid of that Colgate looking dual tone hair that I hate. So it's just solid blue. Advance Wars. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the mod. Everything works perfectly. Oops, now I have it too low. But yeah. So this is the Emulation Station, and it's perfect. It's literally perfect. There's nothing wrong with this. Got Dirge Cerberus right there. And maybe just to show you that it works, I don't think I have many PSP games. I think that's why. What can we do here? Let's I guess let's start up a Switch game. So I have it set up right now with RYUJINX, so it'll work. I think this is a good game to show. Maybe Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I don't have a save with Xenoblade. Maybe let's do, I guess let's just show Metroid Dread and see how it works. I haven't really played it, so yeah. So you just let this start up. It'll take a while. I think RYUJINX is a lot slower than Yuzu, and that's the only difference with it. But otherwise, it works with mods, and that's kind of why I like it. So I'll just let it load, and then see how it goes. Granted, guys, I own every game that I have on here. I have my Switch right here. I actually prefer to play on the Switch than on the emulator. But for a game like Fire Emblem Engage and having mods and stuff, it is kind of fun. But to be honest, guys, I don't even use the Switch emulator. I just have it because you can have it, you can make it work, and yeah, see how it is. So as you can see, it's working right here. Make sure I have it. I have Metroid Dread. And you can see that it'll run perfectly well. Won't have any issues. So let's see if we can like fast forward a lot of this. And as you can see, I'm using my Xbox controller with everything on here. So I'm trying to get it to fast forward, but I can't. We gotta watch all this Metroid Fusion stuff. What's going on? I guess it's just showing. What can I do? I just want to show you real quick. Maybe I might fast forward this just to show you the gameplay real quick. Bam, 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 bam. Oh my god, I cannot skip this. This is crazy. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you how Metroid Dread looked playing on the Switch. As you can tell, it runs pretty good, no issues whatsoever.